fantastic work out of our Flamespire Phoenix. In the early game, those fire bombs that they drop are just ludicrously high damage dealing to basic infantry types. It's obviously not as strong a unit to start with as the Fey Enchantress's Grail Guardians, but it is still a very strong and useful one. Now, we will ransom the captives, I think, as odd as that may seem, just because we will need early game money. Yeah, well, we start with a decent amount already. Alright, ransom those captives. Oh, lovely. Enemy killed in battle, and engage the enemy is securing us 500 gold. Now, perhaps the way to find out how exactly the... Yeah, I don't see it. How exactly the Dark Elves have conquered these places will be given to us directly in the form of... Go to the Tower of Lysan, please. I don't like that this is a close victory, but we're probably still going to be okay. Auto-resolve this because it's a waste of time. Yeah, unsurprisingly. But occupy. And mission successful. Let's see how well you heal here. Not very well. Alright, so I think we will need to... Are you able to... Oh, you don't get the replenishment. I guess that's nobles. Alright, so we'll need to build a noble, recruit a noble, fast as we possibly can. But that's fine. Mission successful, and more importantly, Potion of Toughness. Hey, free Potion of Toughness, I won't say no to that.
Ready to serve.
I believe, unless I'm mistaken, we're supposed to get some little messages from the lore mod that we're using in this particular army, though I don't know when exactly they will pop up. We obviously have little blurbs over the over this stuff, but as I recall, what it's supposed to actually do is, depending on your location, it's supposed to come up with a blurb, but it might be based on turns, or it might be based on specific conquest of specific settlements, or something like that. I guess we'll find out. Either way, let's grab 3 ships companies, since it seems that we get the bonus recruit ranks to them, in the same way that we do for the Lothar and Seaguard and whatever other units Tyrian buffs. Plus 4 ranks for Gateguard, Lothar, and Seaguard, and apparently ships companies. And I'm certainly not complaining. The plus 6 ranks will make this dirt cheap unit a little bit stronger, and perhaps able to hold the line. And then, as I said, we're going to need to get to that Elven Garden up and running, so we'll immediately go for the Elven Garden here to get the noble, since we cannot immediately recruit. Fair enough. And then, I guess we start with the Elven Crowds, and frankly, we will probably delete the militia camp, frankly, as soon as we possibly can, because it will only be upgradable to tier 3, and therefore it serves little purpose here, so we'll go for the Elven Crowdsmen, and we'll go for the entertainment over there as well. But then, the next thing that we'll want to do is go to quick deal and see, start by trading with Avalorn, take their money. We'll basically start by trading with everybody. Yeah, actually, wait. Tyrannoc, we'll start with you. You are at war with Illyrian, but whatever.
I agree.
Next we'll go Safari. And then lastly we'll go Illyrian. And non-aggression pact and alright, whatever. And I believe that's all we've got for now. Yes, alright. That will give us a little bit of money. I guess we will, let's see. We need to, did someone perhaps we wait on the Elven Crowdsmen and get Alistar up and running immediately and have them do checks for and it's only 30 influence, and we should be getting a pretty big influx of influence up and running. Okay, so yeah, this is what I was talking about. So basically certain things will give us these little blurbs about lords, about heroes, about settlements, etc., etc. This is the legendary lore mod, which some of you guys have suggested that I try out a number of times, and I figured, well, why not? We could do that here. Now, this does mean a lot of reading, and not everybody might be interested in that. I am personally a sucker for the lore, so I'd be happy to read through, frankly, every morsel, but this channel is a democracy, so down in the comments below, open a vote to determine whether we should read more, read less, or the same amount as I do in this very first episode, and then I guess by the end of the episode you guys will probably have a pretty good idea over if it's too much or exactly what you want to see or hear. But yes. Anyway, a vote will be on the free side of Patreon, so make your voices heard if you're interested or uninterested in the reading. But we will, in this episode, do it. The White Lions claim Alistar to be the mightiest elf in all of Ulthuan, and certainly his strength and stature is legendary. Yet Corhill is no lumbering giant, for he wields his long axe with a dexterity and grace that makes even his fellow White Lions appear cumbersome. Corhill grace, yes, but I think maybe this was used to say Alistar Mentor. His honest demeanor and noble bearing have won him many friends amongst the lords of Ulthuan and the heroes of other races besides. Alistar has ever repaid this friendship with the same loyalty he offers his liege, and gladly marches to his allies' aid should the Phoenix King consent to sparing his services. Thus has Alistar's axe spilt blood in many lands and in the causes of many peoples not his own. Speaking of Alistar, we will immediately pop you into Lilith's Blessing to channel, while Tyrion here grabs that Potion of Toughness. Lion's Pelt, 15 1 save, 10 armor, pretty basic, but should be useful to us. Next, we pick Attack. Ooh, is that a Mysterious Island? That's effectively free money and/or XP. Though, why would you watch Gentleman Jenkins immediately go after it? Noctis is also right here, and I would love to peel away towards him, but I think we want to knock out the Cult of Excess here first. Anyway, technology-wise, we got the Endless Muster, which will take 4 turns. But as I recall from last time playing High Elves, yeah, so basically all of this buffs archers and spears, including Lather and Seaguard, quite a bit, which will get us through the early game. And the other stuff, cultural advancements, cost 1,000 gold, which is nice, but I think we'll start with the Endless Muster, like so. Alright, then, I believe that's all we can do this turn, so let's end the turn like this. And what we can do while the turn is ending is read a little blurb, because now we have something to do between the turns. The Tower of Lysaean stands as a beacon of high elven architecture, its spires reaching towards Ulthuan's clear skies, a testament to the grandeur of the kingdom of Aetain. Nestled in its northwestern reaches, this tower lies in proximity to the radiant city of Shimmersong, a jewel of the neighboring kingdom of Calidor. It serves as a silent guardian over the southwest region of the innermost, or the inner ring of Ulthuan, watching over the great vortex and Ulthuan's inner sea. Actually, didn't take that long. Yeah. Frankly, if we do one settlements blurb every end turn, I think I like that. Though as to whether we'll see how many blurbs we get about, like, different lords and random heroes and whatnot, because I don't think it's just legendary stuff. The first time we recruit a ship's company, I assume we'll get a blurb about them. Again, from what I gather about the mod. And hello, Beastman. Oh, right, this is a Mixosaur, isn't it? It's somebody. Anyway, this is the SFO mod menu, which you can buff up at the start of your campaign. Generally speaking, I just do time and balance nowadays and not take any buffs or unbuffs. Patronage threatened. Rival machinations at work. A political rival challenges the patronage of position of one of your lords. We don't have access to this yet, game. Why? Why you do this? Anyway, Tyrion, you are not... Yeah, thanks. I thought he said Tyrion, I said Tyrion. Anyway, by the looks of it, you can't reach Angariel in one go, so what we'll do is we'll pop you into Lothern, where you can heal up a little bit more. After that auto-resolve, we'll give this blurb a read, a big old blurb too, and then you grab this Mysterious Island real quick while Tyrion is busy. And get ourselves out. Frankly, the Mushroom Stew would have helped here, but I suppose since you're just falling, we'll do Shiny Boots and Fresh Recruits. And I don't know what that did, because this is covering it. What do we have here? Oh, favorable winds. Campaign movement range. This could actually potentially be helpful if Tyrion ends up out of range of something. Then, we could do a 4th ship's company. Let's grab a couple of high elven archers with basic arrowheads, and maybe we'll do 2 heavy. We won't need them against the Dark Elves most. Well, actually, there's some executioners here at the Shrine of Asurion, huh? You know what? Let's go heavy then. We lose about 30% of our DPS, but we get armor piercing at... actually, wait. You have 5 armor-piercing missile damage, and then you have 12, eh? You know what? Start with the basic adventures. I might still need some more to deal with, but it's pretty good. Anyway, the other thing is, let's see how this works. So this is all the extra units that we get here. Isn't it lovely? Exalted variants of so many units within the roster, but by the looks of it, the first one we will only get when we're rank 10, though frankly we should be there pretty quickly. Otherwise, let's see if we've met anybody new. Quick deal. And by the looks of it, no. Alright, fine. I just wanted some more stuff. Then we should now have enough money to build our Elven Craftsman, and we could actually upgrade the Haven here immediately. 2.5k is fairly expensive, though. This will eventually reduce it slightly. Yeah, but then this will allow us to replace the militia camp here and then not waste the slot in Lothern, so I think that's what we'll do. Anyway, it's blurb time. Tyrion and Teclis, the defenders of Ulthuan. Among the High Elves, the names of Tyrion and Teclis are spoken with hushed respect. The fame of these twin brothers extends throughout Ulthuan and into the lands beyond. Born into one of the oldest families of Ulthuan, the brothers can trace their line back to the doomed Daenerys, first and mightiest of the Phoenix Kings of Ulthuan. It is their destiny to perform mighty deeds and shape the fate of kingdoms. Prince Tyrion is the High Elves' greatest living warrior. So valiant and skilled is he that the bards of Ulthuan sing that he is nothing less than an Aryan reborn, a tale that has given credence far beyond Ulthuan's shores. Since Tyrion's meteoric rise to fame, many have whispered of his destiny to lead the High Elves towards a glorious future, and perhaps one day to take the Phoenix crown. If Tyrion hears such gossip, he pays it no heed, for he is unswervingly loyal to Finnebar. Thus does Tyrion concern himself only with the twin duties of protecting Ulthuan and its Everqueen. However, the latter is seen less as a duty than it is a calling of the heart. It is common knowledge that Tyrion is Alariel's consort, and has been for many years. Though Tyrion is a great warrior, he is no politician, and he is much given to speaking his mind or openly seeking truth, where others would prefer only silence. But for his lineage and battle record, he would long ago have been ostracized by those nobles who hold themselves to be cleverer and subtler than he. As it is, none wish to directly challenge he who banished the demon Nakari at the Phoenix Shrine, slew Urian Poison Blade upon the Finnbog Plain, and set the verminous horde of Kritsqueel to flight with the aid of none save his noble steed Malhandir. Moreover, Tyrion enjoys not only royal patronage, he also counts many of Ulthuan's greatest heroes amongst his closest friends and allies. Indeed, some elves even whisper that Finnebar has bidden Tyrion form a warrior's council, a body answerable to none save the Phoenix King himself. Alas, Tyrion's future may yet come to naught. Across the long millennia, all who have sprung from the line of Morelion, son of an Aryan, have been beset by a terrible curse. It has taken many forms, and as it has passed through the generation, ranging from madness of spirit to weakness of body to other, more insidious states. An example being Teclis being a cripple, wherein high elves are not born with deformities. Ever. So, yeah. Anyway, thus far, Tyrion appears unafflicted, though some whisper his black moods and short temper are but early signs that all should heed. It may yet be that the High Elves' most stalwart defender might one day fade into tragedy or madness. Until that day, those who would threaten Ulthuan must first defeat Tyrion, heir of Veneria. I wanted the lighting of the Ball's Anvil to sort of punctuate to that point. And oh wow. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is a pretty big blur, but I think we can't end the turn, and thus we're going to do another little bit of reading here. Again, perhaps only for the first episode, depending on how you guys vote, so look below. My king, you honor us, said Tyrion. My friend, how many times do I need to tell you that you should not bow to me? A king must always be bowed to, or else none shall know him as king. Prince Tyrion quotes Calidor II, said the broad-shouldered white lion at Finnebar's side. Even as he shows respect, he mocks. The words were said in anger, and Tyrion smiled. Ah, yes, I always forget that you Cracians actually know how to read and write, let alone study history. Careful, Tyrion, warned Finnebar with a smile. Alistair's blood is still fire after he slew the champion of the witch cult yesterday. He's welcome to face that lumbering tree cutter against Sunfang anytime he wishes. Tree cutter, growled Alistar. Chael would find your neck before you could pull that shiny toothpick from its sheath. Tyrion smiled and said, "It is good to see you, Alistair." The Red Lion bellowed with laughter and swept Tyrion into a crushing embrace. Rightly it was said that Alistair was the strongest elf of Ulthuan, and Tyrion felt his ribs creak in the powerful embrace. "Enough," said Finnebar. "As much as I always enjoy your games, there is little time for them now." Alistair released Tyrion and stepped back behind his king. Tyrion drew in a breath and stood tall before his friend and his king. Finnebar was handsome and had the look of one whose eyes were always seeking the next horizon. His blonde hair was almost as pale as the cloaks of his white lions, and the green of his eyes matched the 1,000 gems set within the gate that led to the Straits of Lothern. "How goes the fighting here?" Tyrion asked Finnebar. "The castle on the far side of the Emerald Gate yet resists. Thanks to a few scattered survivors of the battle before the gate, no force of any significance has managed to land on the southern coast. It is here the Druki will bend their every effort." "Then they fare better than we do, my lord," said Tyrion. "Every day the Druki bring up more warriors across that damned bridge of boats. I suspect they will attack soon." As if to prove the point, the hatefully discordant blare of a Druki war horn echoed from the mountainside. Its echoes faded, only to be replaced by the cold-hearted chants of advancing warriors and the bellows of blood-hungry monsters. Tyrion smiled grimly at Alistair. "Time to put that axe of yours to good use," he said. Alistair glanced at Finnebar, who nodded. "Could you use us on the walls, Prince Tyrion?" asked the Phoenix King. "Always, my lord," said Tyrion. "And glittering host, ship's company." All right, and yet another blurb. Yes, so this is presumably because we recruited our first ship's companies, and therefore we will have gotten a blurb about them. "The ship's company are the seasoned mariners of Ulthuan's navy, professional warriors who serve aboard every vessel in the High Fleet, from tumble carriers to the towering dragon ships. Years spent at sea hone them into disciplined fighters who can transition from rigging ropes to battle formations in the blink of an eye. Armed with elegant elven swords and broad, sea-tempered shields, they excel in the brutal deck-to-deck clashes that define naval warfare. Each member of the ship's company is trained not only in arms, but in the unique demands of fighting upon shifting timber under screaming wind and spray. Their shields are lacquered to resist salt water, their blades forged for precision thrusts and swift parries in tight confines. When boarding actions begin, these warriors form a gleaming wall of elven steel, driving back raiders, corsairs, and sea beasts with unwavering discipline. Beyond combat, the ship's company formed the backbone of a vessel's operation, navigating storms, maintaining hull and sail, and performing rituals to Mathlan, Lord of the Deeps, to ensure safe passage. Wherever an elven ship sails across calm waters or into the heart of war, the ship's company stands ready, the silent strength behind Ulthuan's naval supremacy. Enter. It's just, actually, I wonder, see, we can't see the events thing. If only this was visible during the end turn, we could do blurb reading that isn't settlement blurb reading in between the turns. A bit of a shame that, but not a big deal, at least I hope not. Again, I would imagine we'll have a lot more blurbs at the very start. Again, recruiting our first lords, recruiting our first units, etc., etc. And then considerably less as it goes on, which will allow us to do more of the settlement blurb reading. For now, so as not to overload you guys, I'll leave, I think, for now, the various settlement blurbs, depending. Well, again, maybe between the turns still. We shall see. Patronage lost. Your lord has been unseated. What lord? Oh! I assume Tyrion was the lord, maybe started at Lothar? But the AIs don't have to wait for the 5 turns, Obnoxious. Truly obnoxious. And I assume that the AIs are then able to use their military convoys as well? Yes, that's right. Of course, we're using the caravan mod again. I can no longer go without it. It's just too dang fun. Anyway, you, sir. Go... Oh, wow. That's clever. They're not letting us cross, eh? And by the looks of it, not so much. Yeah. Go here. You go here. Yeah, that was difficult. Alright, well, I guess we won't be able to leech in this particular fight because they took up an annoying position, but it makes sense if we have to cross the strait for them to not allow us an easy crossing, so I can appreciate that. Either way, I'm kind of surprised that the AI is willing to fight this, and they're about to suffer for it. Yep. Oh no!
Sons and daughters of Alkwan, be ready. Gird your souls. Let them come to battle.
Alrighty, here we go, and yeah, I definitely am going to want a mobile army for Tyrion. It doesn't feel like the kind of guy who's going to sit around and wait all that much, especially as, for all that said about him, he's really not that great of a military tactician, and I think hit it till it dies is probably his best strategy. Ooh, also, before I forget, as I was able to get to the banner mod in Bretonia, or for Bretonia, we were also able to get to the banner mod for the High Elves, and I got to the banner mod for the Dark Elves as well, and put them both in this army. So wheresoever the High Elves and Dark Elves meet, both will have their banners flying high, which is just great. It's such a little thing, but I feel like it adds so much, and I just find it odd that it's not naturally part of the game. Anyway, this particular army is, well, obviously not a big army, still a potentially more threatening one than the previous one. The 2 units of Harpies can dish out a lot of damage and tear through our ranged ranks if we let them, and of course the enemy range units in the form of 2 repeater crossbows are going to be more threatening than the regular Dark Riders are. The Harpies land upon our archers, or actually on the Lothern Sea Guard here, but we counter them immediately with the Harmonic Convergence, which prevents them from doing damage, and they decide instead to move to the ship's company and apply their bleed to them. Fortunately, we cut them down rather quickly, while the second unit of Harpies immediately gets charged by the Silver Helms and torn to shreds. The Phoenix, as usual, and as we've seen before, is dropping the Wake of Fire upon the enemy, and doing quite well at doing so, dishing out massive amounts of damage while Tyrion begins his duel with the enemy lord. Our spears and ship's companies alike will fight the dread spears and bleak swords that the enemy has. I do like the Lothern color scheme, is quite nice as well. And it looks like Tyrion has pretty much defeated the enemy lord. It's not like he has anywhere else to go, as he activates Curse of Venarian, is therefore out of control. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter as he executes the enemy lord. When the enemy lords fall, it looks like the enemy army loses hope and shattering and giving the second battle to us. Lovely. No problem at all. Once again, lots of work out of the Phoenix side wager, but a little bit more work out of the infantry this time compared to the first fight. Oh, I'm also excited to see how different the different banners will look for the different kinds of units that have them. As I recall from the Bretonia campaign, this mod gives different sort of looking banners to the different kinds of units, and I get a really big kick out of it. Anyway.
Sonya! What the fuck?
Alrighty, there we go. Well, no problem at all. 447 losses, and we were able to, by and large, keep the Silver Helms and the Spears a little bit more back so that they didn't suffer too many losses after being hurt by the auto resolve. Unsurprisingly, Tyrion has 1 kill, but it's the kill that counts, defeating Erithar in combat, and once again, 24k damage. Solid work out of that Flamespire Phoenix. Ransom captives.
Let them go.
Now the real question is, oh, you know what? Will we be able to reach this? You will not. Can Alistar though? Maybe. I say maybe by virtue of the fact that, wait a second, your lord has been yeah, there he goes, he saw this. The King's Gambit. Okay, we will give this a read in a moment, but we have other things that we're doing. I assume that this won't disappear. Archers, oh, because we recruited our first archers. Alright, so we'll give those to a read in a moment. I would like you to now move here, sir. Something like this. I would like you to temporarily take up... Noble Prestige, no dice. Alright, fine. Get your read. 2 points in the first of the midnight game as quick as we can. We can recruit nobles, eh? Out of curiosity. Oh, these are the 20 campaign movement range. It's not what I want. At least not right now. At least not in this army, but with the ammunition increase, this could serve as a nice noble for a ranged army for us. What we want is either crushing or something else. There's a dynamo. That's it. I'm really putting down there's 120% of speed for that, which doesn't sound like a lot, but yeah, that's probably what we want. And crushing, I believe, gives us a little bit of physical resistance and I want to say charge bonus, something along those lines. So something to pay attention to. Anyway, I'm hoping that this auto-resolve doesn't cripple us. I guess we're about to find out. Auto-resolve. The damage units will take a little bit more damage. Gleaming Pennant for us, which I don't really care about, and we will take the money. A little bit will count here. And hey, we can reach Angariel. Good. Alright. So to Angariel we shall go. Tyrion, you can lead. Do we have defenders? We do. Actually fairly decent ones. Alright, fair enough. Gleaming Pennant on one of you. Frankly, it doesn't really matter, because even an SFO is rather terrible.
Your behest?
Pennant. You can go right here to reach XP, sir. And hopefully we can actually use you in the fight. And you don't actually need Lilith's Blessing, and Tyrion actually does. So frankly, I'll make you use to recruit if you can reach Angariel. And not Tyrion. Also, we'll see how much money we have remaining, because we'd like to recruit, but we also like to grab the Elven Craftsman, but also, the Keepers of the Flame will serve Tyrion at rank 4. Meaning, we could get them on field immediately. They're insanely costly, but I don't know, I kind of don't dislike the idea of getting a very early Phoenix Guard, just because we'd be able to watch them in combat for pretty much ever. Instead of waiting to tech up to the others. I'd also like to double check if there are any further islands around. Warherd of the Beastfather. Oh, it's Gorse Warhoof. Alright. Fair enough. And yeah, no other islands in the sort of center of Ulthuan, unfortunately. Vortex looking pretty cool, though. Anyway, you are about to attack again. Let's read a couple of the 2 blue. Wait, did we get 2 blurbs? This one's long, and this one's short. Alright, let's go read the long blurb, then we'll fight, and then we'll read the short blurb after. I believe that's check. Tyrion moved his king out of harm's way. Must we play this game, sire? Tyrion complained. I came here expecting to discuss strategy. I find chess most beneficial to the mind when discussing such matters, the Phoenix King writ large explained. And I said we'd play one day, didn't I? That day has come. Tyrion grunted and sent his dragon towards Finbar's archers. Pieces were exchanged with the glittering gold and silver moving from the board to the table. Now, apprise me of our current situation, Finbar continued, while plucking a lore master from the board. Madruki had taken both the tower of Lysaean and the glittering tower, Tyrion said tersely. His dragon killed some griffins, only to be shot down by archers in turn. Yesterday they marched on Angariel. If my scouts speak truly, then the city has already fallen. Finbar castled his king. If you bring your men into the city and man the walls, then surely we could crush them here. Tyrion shook his head. No, they won't risk such an attack. They'll continue pushing deeper into the inner kingdoms. If we hold here, then soon Lothern will be all that's left. Tyrion paused for a moment, analyzing the situation on the board, and I believe that move has cost you the game, sire. Tyrion's dragon swooped forward, and he plucked the Everqueen from the table. The 2 men locked eyes, and Tyrion felt the twin Javanese. Finbar extended his hand. Well fought. The prince and the king shook hands. Finbar stood up from the table, and Tyrion quickly followed suit. And it seems to me there is only one viable option. We attack now, before they have a chance to consolidate their territory. Do you concur? Tyrion nodded gravely. I do. Then come with me. We must make ready the men. Alright. Men look ready to me. Let's go to Angariel.
Sons and daughters of Ulthuan, be ready! Gird your souls! Let them come! To battle!
Alright, here we go. I'm not so sure you want to make that let them come speech when you face down Nakari slash the Slaneshi. Just, notes for you there, Tyrion. Anyway, here we go. We got a 3/4 stack, and the enemy's got a 3/4 stack. I always love the sort of feel of the first few battles in the sort of early game as both your army and the enemy armies start ramping up in numbers. Anyway, we're going to start by taking position and start firing away at the enemy. Just some ranging shots at the enemy bleak swords and such, as obviously they have shields, and instead we will move quickly to target the ranged units behind us. Now, a couple of the enemy ranged units of the Dark Shards do have shields. We're going to ignore the shielded ones, since they do considerably less missile damage, and target our ranged units at only the unshielded ones. In the meantime, over on the right flank, we engage the Dark Riders as usual with our Silver Helms, who, again, despite the anti-large, tear the poor Dark Riders to shreds. And then they move towards the enemy main line. We can see in the background our Phoenix floating overhead, dropping that wake of fire on whatever enemies it can. Quite effectively so. I like that down on the Silver Helms. We now charge downhill, having defeated the Dark Riders through the Blackheart Corsairs, but we're not going to engage these guys. Why bother engaging them when we can distract as many of those range units as possible? Every second they're not firing is a second they're not dishing out damage to the rest of our army. Tyrion, as per usual, and as befits him, is engaging in the field with the enemy lord, and the death rate is already down to about 20% of her HP. A couple more hits and we'll be out of the picture. Ooh, and just as she gets that murderous prowess activation as well, unfortunately for her. One more hit? Nope, 2 more hits. Looks like we have had shadows and ooh, is she faster than Tyrion on foot? That's a question. Oh, there we go. The Death Hag loses her head, and with her, the Druki host shatters. And the battle is once again ours. The poor Phoenix down to like 30% of its HP. It'll be a while until it gets to heal. Also note that the sort of flowers in all these locations do match the Druki color scheme quite nicely.
Yep.
They could theoretically use their own color scheme as a camo in some situation, lying in a field of purple flowers when you got purple, when you get a purple color scheme. But anyway, there we go. We'll do our best to chase a few units down, just because we can. Alrighty, there we go. Another nice little early game fight, giving us decent work for the Silver Helms this time around. Though damaged, we were still able to first have them obliterate the Dark Riders and then move to the enemy archer ranks, all the while the Phoenix supported, getting 25k damage, but still dropping in HP because the AI just really wants that thing dead. Which, kind of makes sense, symbol of Assyrian and all that. So I can certainly see why the Dark Elves would be so pressed to hose it with arrows, but alas, it did not go down. 12k damage on one of the ship's companies, very, very solid. Tyrion once again defeating the enemy Lord, Death Hag this time around. A little bit of casting from the mage, though we should really get a few more damaging spells. Let's occupy Angara, like so. And yeah, there's the Keepers of the Flame, though I think perhaps I guess the design so we could use the Keepers of the Flame to retake the Shrine of Assyrian, which kind of makes sense. We'll get them up next turn, I think, if we can afford it. 4.4k. It seems like a bad idea, but it's just such a nice unit. Either way, Tyrion, I would like you to go here. I would like Alistar to go here. I would like you to... Oh, we can't transfer because of the invocation of Isha, yes. You transfer all of this stuff for one turn to Alistar. There we go. Just for the additional little bit of healing in the settlement there. Then, we'll grab the Frugal Noble to just start leveling. And then we'll try to keep an eye on the rest of us. We actually have a decent amount of influence. And hey, the Penetrating of the Realms has been unlocked. Before turn 5, I guess there was another thing that we needed. We could have done to unlock Fair enough. Further, Elysium. Then, Tyrion, I would like you to pop into... Actually, maybe in camp stance. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should encamp and then give you back, because... Yeah, fine. I was gonna have him channel, but if we can heal more in camp than in the settlement... Actually, didn't check whether we could or we couldn't. 11 and 9.
Fear the might of Ulthuan.
What? And 9 and 10. So yes, we do replenish slightly more outside, encamped outside our settlement, than in our own settlement, which admittedly I find rather silly. It should absolutely not be that bad. What can you do? Anyway, yeah, you're gonna do that, then you'll channel next turn. You will also perhaps want to start going through probably combined elites. This buff Spears, Silverin Guard, Rangers, Archers, Gate Guard, and Lothern Sea Guard. And as I recall from your tree, Masterful Strategies, you buff Gate Guard, Lothern Sea Guard, and Silver Helms. We'll certainly want some Exalted Silver Helms. Sadly, you don't buff Illyrian Reavers. At least not directly. You still have this, upkeep reduction, but it also doesn't include Illyrian Reavers. Alright, fair enough. Don't worry. We'll put Illyrian Reavers in another army. And then we'll have to pick between Majesty of Ulthuan and Bloodline of Anarian, although generally speaking Bloodline of Anarian is not worth it. Besides, by virtue of it not being worth it, we will also have the option between Asur Vengeance and Ulthuan Renaissance, the Unity and Retribution. The former... Retribution, giving us a massive diplomatic malice with everybody, but giving us lots of buffs for fighting, whereas Unity seemingly giving us lots of buffs with relationships with everybody, except the high elves, and then more economic buffs. And that's a long ways away, I'd wager though, so it'll be a bit. Anyway, we also have unlocked the Invocation of Isha, which will allow us to replenish, but frankly, we want to pop the Invocation of Surian and the Invocation of Vol as fast as possible. As Surian to get the bonus influence and construction time reduction, and the control is decent, and then Vol to get the free super item that we can get, though it'll be a bit. You will grab Wind Blast real quick, and I believe you will want to, let's say, grab a couple of basic high elven archers. You could grab a 4th spear, although I'm not entirely sure whether it's super necessary. We will unlock the Company of the Calendarian very quickly, admittedly. And surprisingly, the Straits of Lothern do not allow us to recruit Lothern Sea Guard. Huh, go figure. I guess it's a... Huh. Even a tier 3 they don't. That's surprising, considering a regular harbor will allow us to unlock this basic Lothern Sea Guard. Not that it matters over much, because we can just get the tier 2 from the rally field, just would have been nice. Either way, we cannot yet afford the Haven, and frankly, it's 18 from the Conquest. Frankly, we will want to move to the Shrine of Asurian and get the construction reduction commandment either way. Anyway, there's not much to do this turn, otherwise check Diplo again. Yep. I keep expecting to come into contact with another High Elven faction, and then read that little blurb, Glittering Host Archers, as I recall. Where were we? When a High Elf begins his martial training, he first learns the arts of swordsmanship and archery. Only when he has mastered both blade and bow is he inducted into the white-garbed ranks of an archer regiment. For the High Elves, white is the color of purity and integrity and of death, and their roles symbolize the determination to fight to the end, no matter what horrors await them on the battlefield. Once trained, an archer serves in his regiment for a decade or more, forsaking all previous allegiances. There he will learn how to send volleys of arrows high into the air so that they sight into the enemy ranks from above, and when to hold fire against a charging foe so that every shot cripples or kills. Most of all, he learns to focus his pride into courage that will allow him to stand his ground. Ulthuan is forever beset by grave perils, and even the finest weapons are worth naught without valorous hands to wield them. So deadly are Ulthuan's militia regiments that countless battles have been won by longbow and spear alone. Countless campaigns, too. Few foes can brave the storm of arrows long enough to breach the grim lines of glittering spears. Thus have the invaders of Ulthuan met their doom for centuries. Thus will they meet their doom for long years to come. Lovely. Alrighty, other than that, I don't believe there's anything else to do this turn. We got our noble, we are healing, if only slightly. We're recruiting, and we're turn ending. Like so. And then proceeding to the Shrine of Assyrian. Now, for most campaigns, it's generally beneficial to start an SFO by canceling the income for your starting province, because it gives you additional growth and allows you to, well, grow much faster. But the problem here for the High Elves is the fact that their recruitment is very, very expensive. And thusly I didn't cancel it, so... It's just 2 heroes on field at once. I guess they must have completed whatever... Anyway, we'll need to collect the invaders. And Auburn will be a very rich province once we get...
I don't know if he is.
And so we need that money. Alright, looking good. Foreign trespasser Gelag. I don't see anybody, but sure. I can see Nagaroth trespassing. I guess that's so expensive. So ridiculously expensive, but I want them on field. It's not the best of ideas. I'll get another frugal guy. Let's get this guy on field as well. There's a little bit of influence. Actually, speaking of influence, Patrons of the Realms. Ah, yes. Eataine has presumably kicked Tyrion out of this. Now, level 1 gives us income from industry, figure of Phoenix King, and nothing all that critical. Aegis of Eataine gives us relative +5 for Phoenix Guard. Income from industry buildings for all provinces, and then buffs for Phoenix Guard, missile resistances for Phoenixes. Fair enough. Again, I don't want to go too heavy on the Phoenix and Phoenix Guard in Tyrion's army, because that would make his army a little bit boring, so we'll see. Though we will probably take this patronage with Tyrion next turn, once the cooldown is over. And then the other one we want to take is Crace, because it buffs the heck out of White Lions. Charge bonus for White Lions. Devastating flanker for War Lions. But no buffs for Chariots. I wonder if Korhil buffs Chariots. Actually, I don't know if he buffs Chariots. I assume he does. Does the upkeep reduction for them? Attribute Strider for everybody, but interestingly enough, we would already have Strider on the Chariot, so that's not the biggest deal. Seems to buff the heck out of regular White Lions a lot more. I got some stuff for the Chariots and War Lions, though, but everything that the Chariots get, the War Lions get as well. So I'm hoping that, funnily enough, he can get the Chariot mount. I'm hoping that Korhil, assuming he survives and we get to Confederate him, will be a little bit more Chariot focused, but we'll see. Anyway, though it is a waste of money, and it is horrifically expensive, and it is a bad idea, and I shouldn't do it, I want to see them on field, so we're going to summon the Keepers of the Flame to lead the stack. Hey, and then we will give this a read once we take the Shrine of Assyrian, assuming I don't forget. You march to the Shrine of Assyrian and go for noble prestige. We'll pop Elysian into your army as well. Oh, you have replenished troops? Oh, okay, that's good. It also means we'll need to get you a noble, but this isn't the type of noble that we want in your army. But anyway, for now, to here ye shall go, and we'll grab this again. I think I should probably build you another spear. Although frankly, we're probably just going to eventually upgrade them to Leathern Sea Guard or Silvern Guard, at the very least once we get the buildings to actually build them.
I will do my duty. Onward.
And you can reinforce as well, sir. And camp. Funnily enough, we could have preserved our movement range by having Alistar attack this. I'm just going to assume that's not a big enough deal, though we do want to proceed to knocking out Noctilus fairly quickly. Either way, let's take back the Shrine of Assyrian. Let's see those Keepers of the Flame in action against Hargonath Executioners, no less. And, oh, I ended up building regular archers. Well, I guess we could just side grade them to heavy arrowheads. Huh, it's actually a straight up upgrade, not a side grade? Go figure. Not so sure about that game, but anyway. Away we go.
Elves of Alfwan, to me! Fight for your souls! Fight for your homeland! Alfwan is defended! To victory!
Alrighty, here we go. This one might take a little bit longer because since we haven't been getting to see Alistar in action since he arrives on field and then the battle is over. I did actually want to wait for him in the previous battles, but what happened was that the enemy armies just decided to move towards us, even when they were on the defensive, and so it was ultimately not for us to wait. Here, we move up our range units, and they try to go after the enemy, but the enemy is just backing out of their range, essentially, so they're not really doing too much damage. But what this is going to serve to do is that it will essentially clear the way for us to make our way up the ramp and into the settlement without the enemy blocking us off. So I suppose that there is some value to it. Plus, this will be the debut battle of the unit of the Keepers of the Flame, who do have their own banner. And oh wow. How is this guy gonna fight? He's got a giant banner in one hand and a halberd in the other. At least give this guy a sword. Come on. Well, it's gonna be tough for this fellow, but well, I trust in his ability. I suppose elven armor, like elven weapons, perhaps would be a little bit lighter, so maybe he'd have a slightly easier time of it, but he's not a temple guard. He probably won't have the strength to wield a halberd in one hand. Either way, we got our first noble on field, which actually, once again, looks pretty great. It's been such a long time since I've played Eotane that I forgot how great their color scheme is. It's just quite lovely. But anyway, we have now got Alistar and Tyrion together with the noble, and they're all going to head into the fray. And the main thing here being to try and find the enemy units of executioners, for them as well as for the Keepers of the Flame Phoenix Guard to fight. And it looks like I see a unit of executioners milling around. And it looks like they will indeed close the distance. We got our three lords/heroes fighting back to back. And a quick little charge from our ship's company, but they're actually going to back off and allow the Phoenix Guard instead to make their way forward. The executioners surround our heroes. We did get pincushioned a little bit with arrows, but obviously without the heavy arrowheads, the lack of armor piercing will mean that they don't do too much damage. Plus, a second unit of executioners moves in to fill the gaps where the dead have fallen, adding more of their Drake weapons to the fight. Although sadly, the executioners in the game will not be getting the sort of one-hit killing blow that single strike sort of thing that they're famed for. Especially not against the Phoenix Guard. Though funnily enough, against the ship's company, there's a good likelihood that they would be killing units with every blow. Either way, our banner still flies. The first of the executioner's banner has fallen, and they have called for reinforcements, like cowards, adding a unit of dread spears to their number. But the dread spears will be a little bit more vulnerable to arrow fire, so that'll help out. Tyrion and the noble and Alistar fighting on the front lines, and which I like also because of the little blurbs that we've been getting. Feels appropriate. Also, I know that the victory conditions overhaul has been suggested many times, and the thing is, I like the idea. In theory, I really like the sandbox experience for my campaigns, rather than being told where to go, where to send your lord, and what to conquer exactly. Which is the reason that I don't use it. I'll probably use it in a campaign where I feel like the objectives are going to follow what I would be doing anyway. But anyway, my plus Teclis. I read that the Tyrion and Teclis going to get reworked in the victory conditions overhaul for their conditions, so we might as well not them in those here. Anyway, looks like the elites have fallen, or at least the Druki elites have fallen. Our elites still stand, and now it's time for the Bleak Swords and the ship's companies, the weakest of the units on both rosters, to fight against each other. And we'll see how well they do. Although the enemy has a few more moving in to reinforce. In the meantime, our Silver Helms, together with our units of Keepers of the Flame, our Phoenix Guard, will move towards any enemy range units. Why are all these range units so badly damaged, you wonder? It's the Phoenix once again. It's up to 203 kills and 40,000 damage. All those range units of the enemy lined up and ate the wake of fire and just had a bad day. Looks like we have the activation of the murderous prowess now, so they suddenly units are fighting a little better. Sadly, the executioners, which have their murderous mastery, were not able to avail themselves of the massive buffs. I recall in the Fate Champions campaign, we had the Cold One Dread Knights activate their murderous mastery and absolutely obliterating the Knights of the Realm in seconds. It was pretty crazy after seeing the Knights of the Realm run you through everything and fight on par with most things. But yeah, those Dread Knights ate them alive. Anyway. Tyrion and Alistar have arrived on the front line once more. Tyrion leading all the way from the front and once again sending the enemies flying. Oh wow! The noble cutting one of the enemy in half. Huh. Also, does Caradrian go to the player's high elf faction, or does he always appear for Aisling? I'm not entirely sure. But considering we have the Shrine of Assyrian, it feels like we should probably get Caradrian. Oh, the guy with the banners gets sent flying, but does come back. Alright, and those poor Bleak Swords getting absolutely torn to shreds by the Keepers of the Flame. Although, weren't they supposed to have like a sort of fiery effect on their halberds? Am I crazy? Am I thinking of another unit? And I don't mean fire damage, I mean like the way that their halberds look, or maybe I'm thinking of Caradrian, but anyway. What matters here is that the enemy is pretty much done for. The bounce power has shifted to about 90% in our favor, though a bunch of the enemy Dark Shards have returned just as we charge another unit of Dark Shards, and actually doing plenty of damage to the Silver Helms. The nice thing for the Dark Elves is they get easy access to early game ranged armor piercing, and a heck of a lot of it as well. The Druki crossbows obviously being significantly better than the base bows of the elves, or the high elves rather, but that's alright, as it won't help them very much. Out here, the units, oh wow, and it looks like, I was about to say, we charge into the units of Dark Shards that came back, but a very nice cast of the Chill Winds through several units of ship's companies, see them severely damaged. I was actually looking for where the Supreme Sorceress was, but because she was hidden up here in the fog, so we're going to head towards her and her Death Hag bodyguard with our lords and heroes. And it's not like there's anybody else to head towards, because I believe that is the last units, or these are the last two units that remain on field, so the heroes will deal with them themselves. Now, it looks like Alistar will engage the Death Hag in combat with a little bit of help from the Noble, while Tyrion heads directly towards the enemy Supreme Sorceress.
Victory was certain.
Victory was certain. Sounds like you're saying that for a reason, as with that the enemy begins to waver, and I do believe the chain route is here. And the Death Hag falls, and the Supreme Sorceress will fall as well. But either way, they both shatter, and the battle is ours. Took a little bit of effort this time around, especially with the enemy backing away from our range units, who in this particular fight thusly did not do nearly as much damage, but it was certainly a heck of a debut for the Keepers of the Flame. Alrighty, there we go. Their upkeep may be absolutely ridiculous and unnecessary in this early game, but damned do they look good and, well, or look cool and alright. The 160 kills on the Keepers of the Flame, unsurprisingly, hacking apart a bunch of Harganeth executioners. The Phoenix up to 43 crit damage this time, continuing to take range fire and finally save the Silverhound. The enemy was trying to focus down as they seem to want to, well, not want to rather, seem to refuse to get into a range duel with our units, which is a little bit surprising considering they've got dark shards with shields, and they should rely upon those to win range duels against things like high elven archers, but yeah. Either way, the enemy did most of its damage with the Dark Sorceress, spamming those chill winds through the course of the battle. Contrary to popular belief, those winds have no chill whatsoever. Anyway, let's see. With that, I believe this Cult of Excess faction is destroyed. Occupy. And the Shrine of Assyrian reclaimed. And there's that Company of the Calendarian. Free treasury plus 1,000. Province secured anything. Shield of Talos. Faction destroyed. Right of Assyrian unlocked. Issue a commandment. Working on it. It is this one, Rebuild Lost Splendor. Construction cost reduction minus 20% for all buildings. And hey, the Shrine of Assyrian has the militia camp. Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep that there, delete it from here, and that will enable us to get the Elven Craftsman. We'll need this early to support the ludicrously expensive, ludicrously expensive units. We'll also probably want to grab the Grove pretty early for the War Lions. Although, upkeep at 212. Can't afford them quite yet, although how much does Alistair reduce their upkeep by? 10%. Yeah, that's not enough right now, buddy. Not enough. Well, what can you do? Out of curiosity, are you able to leave the settlement and channel? You are. Alright, so you're gonna go into Lance Blessing to max out your channeling. You are gonna pop into Shrine of Assyrian, and you are going to... I should have commanded. Okay, yeah. You are going to swap units again, allowing Alistair to heal them up for us, with the replenished troops buffing them up a little bit as well. Upkeep reduction for infantry, immunity to flanking, that's all fine. Oh, these guys have buffs for flying units as well, interesting. I would also imagine that we probably wouldn't want to use even the exalted variants of the bolt throwers in Tyrion's army, as his army will most likely want to be mobile. Still will most likely want to either grab Sky Stewardships, but even if we don't, we'll probably want to grab a couple of Sky Cutters instead. Anyway, Mage, you'll want to grab, I guess, Aranons now. Get the ability to cast everything.
Shield against the darkness.
I'll let those spells fly, and otherwise I believe we're good. Now, we could use the cash to get another one of these frugal lords. I don't dislike the extra campaign inventory, especially in the early game. Again, we can always punt these guys to other armies later on. I'm willing to pay the influence cost, like so. The other thing was this. I was very tempted to grab this Ardent Princess in the early game. It's going to be costly, but I think it'll pay for itself fairly quickly. It'll be an extra army with dirt cheap archers, plus we can transfer the archers or Lothar and Seaguard from Tyrion's army eventually into that army as well. Plus we can use it to leech them XP. The other option would be to go for not an entrepreneur, but an administrator, giving us a construction cost reduction minus 10% for all buildings in the local province, which is really quite nice as well. 300 upkeep, though. It's probably more worth it to do this once we have 2 provinces, otherwise it might not pay for itself, depending. This, well, that's 1 turn once we... Actually, it's closer to 2 turns of having the Lord, but yeah. We'll get that one eventually. Fortunately, since there's a billion archmages, there's probably oftentimes going to be an administrator if one of the lures available, whereas there's no guarantee we'll see another Ardent Princess in the near future, so Ardent it is, and good use in the early game. Alrighty then, since we've taken that territory, I do believe we have another one of these blurbs. Was it the Phoenix Guard blurb? Yes. Keepers of the Flame. Oh, we got a little blurb about the, specifically, the Regiments of Renown. Interesting. The Shrine of the Creator is the holiest place in all of Ulthuan. It is within this great pyramid temple that each new Phoenix King is crowned, at least should he pass unharmed through the Assyrian sacred flame. And the sacred flame itself is watched over by the silent warriors of the Phoenix Guard known as the Keepers of the Flame. Only they, of all mortals, have witnessed the full wisdom of the Creator. In moments of dire need, members of the Sacred Order siphon small portions of the sacred flame into their weapons and march forth from the temple to fight alongside the defenders of Ulthuan. Their foes are quickly reduced to smoking corpses as their white-hot blades cut through flesh, leather, and even metal with ease. That indeed they do. Alright, I believe that's all we can do this time. Minus, did we gain vision of another faction that we could trade with? Apparently not. We really need to build those wines. They might help us with the whole trading situation. Oh, sorry, are you besieged? You are besieged. So Noctis will most likely destroy Caldor rather soon. What we could do about it, though? It'll probably take us 2 turns to get to Lother. We could just straight up declare war. I wonder how much money. Declare war on the Dread Fleet. You get 746 money out of it. Though I do wonder if they would, the Dread Fleet would then abandon this idea. Either way, we want to knock these guys out since we are not yet at war with the Orcs. I don't see signs of Nakari, but, well, hopefully he'll keep his mitts off Safari since we want the Legendary Lord. Anyway, we'll propose this to join the war because I still fully suspect that these guys will die. I'm gonna leave the Warhead of the Beastfather alone for now because, you know. Yeah. Anyway, that's unassigned skill points. I think that's just Tyrion. It's just Tyrion. Alright, fair enough. End turn. Also, there was another little currency up there. I want to double check what that is because I don't think I saw it in the how they play thing at the start.
There.
I don't recall seeing anywhere where we could spend that. Oh, maybe we need to spend it to unlock the techs in Unity or Retribution? If that's the case. I guess we'll find out. I hope we'll find out. I'm trying to... ruins. Alright, so it looks like... Noctis decided to raise Calidor rather than occupy it. Kind of a curious choice, I suppose, but perhaps he wanted to play out here. I see a couple of his little armies, and aha, Noctilus himself out here. This would not be a bad thing. If he's moving his way this way, he can't take Lother, but if we hide an ambush on the ground, we may be able to catch him unawares. Though I do wonder if he'll try to land here. Might be irritating if he does, we'll see. Issue a commandment. Commandment issued. Take patronage. Use influence. Alright. I guess we should kick the Atem patronage out. It feels wrong to leave it there. So, Tyrion, you're gonna take the patronage like so. Duration of patronage immunity from threats, and then we'll upgrade you. Will this reduce the upkeep for the Phoenix Guard? It will not, damn. I was really hoping, but oh well. And what do we have here? Calendar destroyed as expected, Heir of an Aryan, the Eternal Flame. Oh, right, we got the bullet about the Keepers of the Flame, but not about the Shrine of Assyrian. Set camp while our lord makes a visit to the temple, shouted the captain as he turned to Tyrion. How long will you require? Tyrion gave him a glance. We'll stay here for a day at most, but I'm keen to continue with our orders. The captain nodded and walked off, leaving Tyrion alone to go to the temple of Assyrian. This temple was one of the most holy places for his kin, ancient and magical. Teclis claimed it was built by the Slan before they became the docile and lost creatures they were now. Docile? Sir, you have not met Mazdamundi. Tyrion's pilgrimage was swift and silent, descending into the ziggurat where so long ago he was attacked along with his brother by the demon Nakari, not for the last time. But it was here that against the odds they defeated the greater demon through his valor, Teclis's powerful magics, and the cleansing fire of Assyrian's flame. So here he came to pray to Assyrian for protection when the time came that Nakari would come for his life once more. When the captain of the White Lions met his death at the hands of the Dark Elf assassin Tyrion Poisonblade, The bodyguard of the Phoenix King gathered to select a new leader from amongst their ranks. Their choice, approved and blessed by the Phoenix King, was the warrior Alistar. Thus has Alistar served Finbar the Seafarer with unfailing loyalty for many years, and has stood steadfastly beside him at many battles. Indeed, Alistar's gemstone set belt was a gift from Finbar following the Battle of Torokar, where Alistar hurled himself in the path of Morik the Black's Manticore. Alistar was badly mauled, but gave far better than he got, disemboweling the beast with a single swing of his axe before unconsciousness. Okay, so the map round, free movement range, that's going to Tyrion, buddy. And what else do we have here? First research completed, good. An unusual location of the Shrine of Asurion. It is an exquisite vineyard. Oh, man. Huh. There's Slaneshi corruption, but there are Slaneshi cults on Ulthuan, A, and B. And elves do like their wine. Plus, there was the cult of excess here, maybe leaving it behind. I don't know. Usually, I don't engage with the chaos, the flavor, unusual locations. But maybe lore-wise, although I wish it wasn't at the Shrine of Asurion. That kind of bothers me. That seemed kind of an appropriate for it to appear as a little gift left behind to the cult of excess. I believe for now. I'd like to hear you guys' opinion on it. I captured 2 provinces. Otherwise, we'll burn it down. Tyrion, I would like you to go to ambush stance, go right here towards as far as you can travel to Nigeria. Then, let's double check something. These guys are really good too. But I'm just going to put this time. Anyway, you Alistar will transfer all of your stuff to Tyrion. I mean, not your stuff, Tyrion's stuff back to Tyrion. Alright, like so. And then we'll send our Duval to go into Tyrion's army as well. There we go. And you, sir, I'm going to make use of the... No, actually, I do not want to make use of the... Kill Talos Dragon Mage. I didn't assume that we had something for Tyrion, but apparently not. Alright, fair enough. Tyrion, keep saving your points, I think. So might be nice, and Speed of Assyrian might be nice, but you have a lot of points to apply when you reach rank 10 and rank 12. 6 between these 3. And there's some good stuff there. And then another 4 here, so you're going to be saving your points for a little while, but I'm still tempted by combined elites. Spears, Rangers, Honor, Seaguard, there's not a few ships companies. I see ships companies here. Not in this thing. The shrine itself isn't all that expensive to build. It's a tier 1 land marked 1,600, and it'll reduce our upkeep slightly. Plus the 10 control will basically maximize our control in Lather and Forever, which is dropping right now, so yeah, because I didn't build the amphitheater. Admittedly, we could build the amphitheater, but for now I think we'll start with the homestead. We'll delete it later out of here, but we need the additional growth as the 2 ports are not sufficient to get us where we want to go. And next we will go for, I'm going to say, reload reduction. Frankly, we're going to get all 5 of these, so it doesn't really matter. As much as I'd love to spend money on cultural advancements, they're probably not gaining enough from trade right now to make it worth our time. By the way, hello. Avalorn wants a defensive alliance? Yeah, sure. Oh, wow, they are being pushed back with the Scourge of Cain, eh? Alright, let's get a vision of what's going on out here. You want to pay you 62 money? It bothers me, but just do it, whatever. Alrighty, and division gives us nothing. Alright. There's no way... Oh, she probably lost her main army to the Scourge of Cain. I'll have to go up there to deal with them and Nakari. I'm just gonna hope that Nakari won't be able to wipe anyone out while we deal with Noctilus, because we still do have to. Anyway, skip and end the turn. Oh, I forgot to send out the convoy, which we could have done this turn, but I guess we'll do it next turn. Plus, we have to pay money for it, so. I'm so excited for more convoy battles. The mod is just so wonderful. Anyway, aha, that worked out. Noctis is unfortunately not in March stance, but I wager it won't matter. I guess the only issue potentially would be is if we can't leave the fort in because of these guys' circle, their zone of control, we may not be able to leech XP. But this is a great opportunity to knock out Count Noctilus's... Assuming he still has it. His single Necrophax Colossus. I actually can't see how much of a stack he has. Peggy has half a stack. What does Nocti have? Come on. Actually, we should probably refer him to him as Niklaus, since he prefers Noctilus, just for the little bit of insult. Yeah, he still does have his Necrophax and a Depth
Come on, move it.
Halligan's Outpost construction,
Move it.
siege by sea.
Thank you.
They stopped this being constructed. Isn't that adorable? The main issue with that is that... Actually, we'll see, I guess. Rockland besieged, yeah, so Pedro will not be able to reinforce, but... Are you gonna be able to... Okay, go like this, because it's gonna kind of be a bit of... Go like this, and then hope that you're gonna be in range. And then we'll see if they run. Will they run? Guess we're about to find out. Oh wow, we are super out of time. Oh, but it's right here. No, I gotta do it. Can't stop me. Alright, yeah. Huh. Wait, but where's the little stack? Little stack? What? Did they, oh, maybe they landed? I'm not entirely sure, but they're both dead now. Oh, Noctilus, you played yourself, buddy. Well, I mean, admittedly, we did go into ambush, so he didn't know our stack was here. He just thought there was nothing, so... Yeah, we played him, I guess. Anyway, let us give the Gleaming Pennant to... I guess the Spear still. And away we go. We're fighting this real quick.
Will you bring shame on
Alright, well the choice may not be up to you, but I think we'll be just fine in this particular fight. Here we go. Tyrion now has two nobles in tow, which are going to have to replace Alistar because he's so far away that he's just not going to get here in time. And considering the 337 range on the Necrophax Colossus, we are just going to have to charge the enemy immediately. Though, as soon as we draw close, the Noctilus activates his Wraith Storm ability, hitting one of the High Elven archers hard and basically breaking them with a single use of the ability, as well as taking about 75% or so of their HP. Unfortunately for the enemy, the Phoenix moves together with the Silver Helms as they charge in on the flanks. The Wake of Fire and the Wake of the Lances. There we go. Crippling the enemy gun line even as the arrows come down upon them. Tyrion, in the meantime, moves towards Noctilus himself while our spears and our ship's companies engage the depth guard. Ship's companies, being a super fragile trash tier infantry unit, being pretty much an ideal target for the depth guard with twin axes, means that these guys are going to be pretty dangerous here. And keep in mind that all of Noctilus's guys have a death wave or similar ability to them when they reach low HP. Ooh, speaking of low HP, a cackle fruit ability coming in from the enemy gunnery wight just as it melts away, or as the gunnery wight melts away under fire from our archers. It does about 60% damage to the ship's companies. However, at the same time, we do more damage to the enemy with our Flamespire Phoenix, Phoenix with the Fire's Wake, plus the 2 Nobles closing the distance and focusing those Depth Guard who severely get debuffed by the Curse of the Midnight Wind. Noctis is down to about half of his HP thanks to Tyrion, and his personal Necrofix is down to about 20% of its HP, as we have closed the distance with it, with the Keepers of the Flame. We don't need them to deal with the enemy units of Depth Guard, and they're probably the best option to deal with the Necrofix. All the archers will focus it down to help them out as well. Tyrion defeats Noctilus, and it looks like the Necrofix is about to fall. It disgorges its complement of a zombie crew to try to stay in the fight in desperation, but the arrows continue raining down upon it. The halberds swing until the great Colossus topples onto the zombie horde, crushing some of them under its own bulk, and then we just have to wait out the clock until the zombie pirates melt away and Noctilus' armor is bid a good dead. That was so good. Anyway, there we go. A very nice fight, however, and while we did take a fair bit of damage to those abilities, and a parting gift of a Melkot's Mystifying Miasma Experiment, the day is ours. And you can't underestimate Melkot's Mystifying Miasma in SFO. It actually does a lot of damage, and if you have several casters of it, you can abuse it from across the map to dish out massive amounts of damage to the lines of enemy infantry. Certainly a thought for future armies as well. Anyway, once again, I'm really digging the color scheme on these guys. Oh, this guy has a horn. Good for him.
Documentary, there's only a one of that guy that lets you go and don't be that guy. Well, think that's the slide.
Alrighty, there we go. Pretty much no problem. A -1 small issue, and that was their abilities. 13k damage on Noctilus and 7.5k damage on the Gunnery Wight. They're pretty much the only ones that did any significant work. Well, a little bit out of the Depth Guard, admittedly, and the Necrofix, but Cackle Fruit from the Gunnery Wight, Wraith Storm, plus whatever other abilities Noctilus has, and Noctilus' unique ability giving sort of little passives to all of his units was also hurting us a little bit, but otherwise, we're just fine. I'd love to heal. I would really love to heal, but we really need the cash, unfortunately. We're just gonna have to continue moving damage. It is what it is, and here we go. 221.6k damage on Flame Spire Phoenix, who I have a fear that will never be anywhere near full health in this particular run. We got the Silver Helms at 13k damage, sharing himself 2 kills, but one of those was Noctilus, and really that's what matters. Our ransom captives. Alright, plus we get Noctis's defeat rate, which as I recall is -5 armor piercing damage, something like that. What is this? What am I seeing here? What? I guess those heroes were just sort of sitting there. I'm not entirely sure what the heck that was, but it looked a little bit weird. Anyway, enemy killed in battle, an heir of an Aryan, the destruction of the Dread Fleet with a heck of a long read, which I think we will most likely leave to next episode. Yes, enemy armor reduction of 5, which is really worth our time. A Vortex Shard. Well, we don't have any other casting items, so we'll be... Oh, wait, Tyrion. Alrighty. And then we will want Alistar to pick up the defeat trait of use, so we will go here. And Alistar will resolve it to double up on the defeat trait. Let's spend enough to couple our army. Now we're okay. A Sky Titan String. Wellity. The game really wants us to get K-Drill up and running. Fair enough. You get the Sky Titan String, and you'll provide that shield breaker for your Ardent Archer army. And that's lovely. Not sure how much value you're going to get out of that frenzy, but otherwise it's good. Potion of Strength. Okay, well, Strength and Toughness both kind of make sense for Tyrion. I'm going to say give you the Potion of Strength for now, and then we will, redo it later on. Also, how close are you to your mount? Ugh, so close. Now, actually, that's a question. You could land back at Lothern, and most likely leech the XP. I'm going to do this. Noble 1 I'm going to send you out here. I want to see what the garrison of the Galleon's Graveyard looks like in the early game. Because it's obviously if it's like a million billion necrofaxes and such, we can't do anything about it right now. And no, it's fine. It's completely fine. I think we will want to land here as fast as possible, though, so it might mean leaving Peggy Fen. But we could pick up our mount, but it'll cost like half our movement range right now.
I am denied.
I can't tell if you're at sea. Are you at sea? What is going on here?
Champion.
No, this will take. Yeah, you're on the ground, right? Yeah, looks like it. All right, I guess we'll use Alistar to reach then. Alistar, go in full speed stance. Go right here. This will take all your movement range. Huh. There's a decent likelihood that you can run away, but I guess we'll see. Alistar, land here then. Like so.
Noble victory.
Then you should hopefully be able to reinforce. Yes. And then this will auto-resolve because we have a garrison at Lothar. Now you're gonna run. How far are you gonna run? Disgustingly far. Now, the annoying aspect of this is, unfortunately, I think, well, we don't have the garrison to rely upon, and heck, you can't even cross. So I guess we will have to send Tyrion after you. Which is a shame. It is what it is. Alright, and this one will auto-resolve.
Surrounded by bulls.
Like so. And then we're just gonna book it towards the Galleon's Graveyard next turn. Resolve close victory, but we do have the nobles buffing us, or the noble now buffing us now, so we should be fine. I'm guessing the Phoenix is going to get damaged. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Take the money. And I take it the noble will have leveled to another point to replenish troops. Good. Enemy killed in battle. There we go. I wanted the rank 7 for Malhandir, and I guess you will go into March Dance and get into Lothar. Okay. And heal a teensy bit more. And then we'll use the harbor to go as fast as we can. Well, that's blessing for you, and Alistar, you can't switch. Actually, you know what? Get away from Carousel, just because, like, just in case he looks to move and attack you. Alrighty. And there we go. I think we've accomplished plenty in this first episode. It went long, but I was having a lot of fun, so, yeah, that explains that. I am going to call it here in 5 seconds. After we do 2 things. Military convoys. Get our first convoy up and running. Hello, agents of Assyria. Yeah, that's the choice here. Oh, wow. I bet we do have the diplomacy here, but yeah, that seems like the obvious thing. Higher chance on counters of hires. Sure. Hire an admaster. And we'll hit you immediately to... I guess Arnheim, because it's the closest. Bordeaux is currently owned by Beastman, which is exactly the same, but this I feel, actually I don't know if this is safer. I don't want it to die immediately. But nonetheless, we can go to Arnheim, give it a try, and we're going to spend a little cash on it, but it is what it is. Dispatch. Good luck. Does not feel like it should take 5 turns, but it is what it is. And what is this? Oh, we can spend influence to increase our cargo capacity, making us some more money. However, I think the influence is more important right now because we have to upgrade Tyrion's patronage and probably get the Creation patronage for Alistar, presumably we don't do something worried about it, we'll see. Anyway, let's go for Douglas. Alrighty, the other thing I wanted to do was potentially pop off the Invocation of Assyrian, though, yeah, I could. Let's give us additional influence, let's give us additional growth, however, the problem here being that, well, it won't reduce the construction time of this, so perhaps we wait until we can upgrade the next of our towers, whichever it may be. So like this, we will upgrade it. And then I'm going to call it here. Next time, we sail the Alpha's Graveyard to knock us and then sail back, grab a Val's Anvil, and go after the Warherd of the Beast Father before he takes too much territory here, and then here to take the Orcs out, and up north to Nikari and the Scourge of Cain. Most likely we'll have to build a secondary army very quickly, but fortunately with the cost reductions on Caedril here, archers are going to be, well, much more expensive to recruit than upkeep, so that'll be the issue here. Too bad we can't get a recruiter loaded, but we'll deal with that. And of course, we got to get Alistar's army, so all in due time. Anyway, more Tyrion to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, and don't forget to vote on how you feel about the legendary lore mod as the addition, both in general and towards reading further in this campaign. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.
That's perfect. Thank you, Terry. You're welcome.
Just to boost book sales. Look at your training, Junior. Forget the training. Gets you still. Maybe it's not. Hello. Do you finish the combo?
The last one was that she had something in common with her husband.
You're both fucking unbelievable. That's right. Papa Nicholas. Yeah, right. Shut this down. Save yourself. Stay here.
Don't come close like that in cheesy talk. Let her pretend you want.
I got you, Jill. But you still so until then, focus up the lead. You want to extra Bob, quick sidebar. No problem. Touch your face. Okay. Okay. Just take a approximation. I'm there. This is. Hold on a second. There's something. Come on.
What? That part cracks me up.
Listen, turns out it's going to take more time to get your ass on my nose. When you join that yacht release, no update to you. Anyway, enjoy your sabbatical. Say hi to your mom. Don't call me. Ever. Like never.
Jumps in the water. Look, I'll let the shark stay.
I hate getting unable to do more to help. We all think it's myself first every once in a Hey, you on tour, sir?
Boy, Rob,
Elliot.
it's so good to see you. Something's been off with you.
Hmm.
I want more pressure and I don't want to be in a spot.
Okay. Nicole, Grayson.
No. Nobody else is you can front ride and look how that comes out. Having you here is a reminder of my old life.
Very nice to see you, but
You have to find a way to get on with another matter. Try harder. I just have to be honest and say I'm really worried about it. Spanish is the best thing that's come up with this thing. And I don't take that for granted.
don't waste another second. Don't get it. We all just need to get back to living.
I used to be a different person, but then you really changed. And I feel that's what I want to be.
Folks, early fish, post champion. Which means we do whatever we want, whenever we want. At least, once upon a time we did.
That was when this is really fun.
This is your fun. Maybe just keep walking, folks.
Oh, are you good?
I'm not the one with stack of books about a magic brown in the car.
I'm not ready for all of
Not here to tell you what to do, Pete. I lost my best friend.
my dream is to have the crowd bring back the gun.
Mountain?
Yeah.
Might have a plan. What was the moving out? That's crazy,
You know what you're doing all right, John? Because we ain't be trying. Yay!
You know about explosive, but not rocket science, just chemistry, and a little bit of rocket
So honestly, all things considered, I actually think that we're doing really good. I think back is alive.
Oh, jeez.
When did you guys make it? Okay, you can tell them? But then you're like, okay.
Whatever's getting that back.
Don't
Here. Here.
Tina, you're on lab. George patient woke up. Meredith gets ready for a QT. She's your doctor for the child.
You knew it'd be easy to convince you when you actually saw what it was.
I always did, all right? You actually knew what he was doing this time.
He mentioned something else. He said he didn't want to take a chance on some hot-tempered kid endangering the operation. So he sent you out here.
Hot-tempered kid!
Instead of operation. His update beyond liberation and cross. Indeed, and a plan to be here. The one that
No one told me that!
Right. You remember Larry from the fifth lab, right? He went on one hell of a party rolls now, and it's not like also just the full blues of metal. Here I am. And I was promised exactly.
Yeah, but I don't exactly see how I have anything to do with it.
Promise you this much. We will absolve this crime.
What's this down here? Oh.
How about I swing by the shop sometime tomorrow? And if you ask me nice, I'll bring it in. Copy that. Hold on! Here we quiet, relax, Bowman. We want this one alive, so don't kill it!
I'll just take it. Bug bite. It's not bad.
Bowman, don't you think I'm wearing this mask for a reason? Yeah, and I'm sorry that you got dragged into this. Don't do anything that would give away your involvement. They could be watching us from anywhere. Take it outside. Is there a good chance the enemy's waiting outside? It'll be safer here. I told you it's safer. We've got the Hawk's eyes watching over us out here. Oh, yeah. All right, don't even think of it. I've got a few questions for you. Wait. I got this guy. That's my old human body! What? Sick bastard! Lab animal into my body. And it leaves its body because it wants its freedom for its Talk about memories. I haven't even seen this guy since the day my soul got ripped out. What do you want? You don't have any money, so you... Squad.
Village over there. away, baby zombie.
Chop up his whole body into 9 little pieces. Pretty sure that's guilt that you told me not to do that. Well, this changes things, damn it! I've been killed on my soul. I found my knife into it. Back off, Barry. I thought you were supposed to return to your body, not chop it up into pieces. This is just cruel! I have to do it! It's my body going back to me! And I put it on the top inside! I know!
Just have to call you back. My own.
Ooh. Oh, don't anything to do. Guess I'm gonna need arrows. Take the feathers too. I know I'm gonna need that for something, I just don't know what. Glad we take this glass furnace. Take the sticks.
Hey, don't go fast. Tell me your secret first. I'll tell you when I get back, okay?
Don't let him get away. He ain't going nowhere. My soul won't be able to rest. Not until I eviscerate that beanbag. What the hell you gonna do? You're saying, Al, it's just not possible.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Until I got kidnapped by a He called himself Luigi. One thing he told me is that nothing is impossible. I know for a fact that they have amazing healing powers. I watched him really get the top half of his head knocked off. He was perfectly fine a little later. They're real all right. I understand that he was relieved. After what I just saw.
I rendered back to the public tunnel. Telling me he's still alive.
Come.
Well, you had fun with that, didn't you? Out of my way! I don't want any of your old ego! I got the special reunion ticket! All personnel must evacuate immediately! Colonel, say that. The man who broke in is deranged murder. Find him and attack him. Order your guards to seal off the exits. Yes, sir.
I gotta be honest, that's like one of my favorite scenes from Full Metal Alchemist. I see how she checked it. Look at a sucker for big boobs. I can't help it. I love them.
On your heels. I know everything.
I was created with this stone. That's right. There's no guarantee I'll be able to stay here for long enough to get our old bodies back.
I was wondering if you were going to show up last week.
Number 66.
I thought it'd be fun to switch things up. Besides, I thought it's like many. That's enough of the tackle, chit-chat, love. All I want to hear from you is screaming.
And that's gonna kill me.
When you said you'd already had to kill someone. doctor. Hey, I'm home now. Moron! Welcome back!
That was way too damn close. I hope someone can fix it. What about my life? What the? How the hell are you still alive? Oh no, put me down right now. I've got a second chance to clear right. Please, you're gonna ruin everything. No, don't do it, wait. No, stop, please.
Ouch. I don't know what this place is, but it looks pretty cool.
You're wrong. You don't even run out of breath? Uh-huh. I just have to make sure the seal doesn't get on. That's so cool. So you really are immortal then, huh? Oh, I know. Like a time bomb. Very interesting. It made me realize that any type of body is incompatible with its own soul. Bringing them together, the body will eventually reject it. It happens large. It's from that. It is inevitable that it will. You find the regular body. No, you and brother always gotta be the first to explode. I never get the chance to be the one to get mad. I don't think this body will let me. Come here, it's gonna take your body back. Give it back! I have to get my brother's body back. He's the only family I have. I won't let you take it.
It's true. You die exactly the same. I need to tell you something important. Something terrible is going to happen. It's what you said. But you escaped.
Hey, oh my God, wait! I got to do something straight.
Kat forgot she had an appointment at 12:45. She asked me if I wouldn't mind watching the store until like 45-ish.
Whoa.
Railway Valley, so she'll be across the street. So I tell her, yeah, she'll be fine.
Okay. Chest, iron chest, gold chest, diamond chest, iron chest. Okay. Item trash can. Upgrade base, item trash can. Okay.
I've never seen American Psycho, but this fits. It's very skirt over. I've never seen American Psycho, but this fits.
Watch this car. What do you think?
Patrick, that's a pickle.
That's bones.
That's a pickle.
Picked them up from the printers yesterday.
You must have got it by mistake.
Look at him. Look,
Oh
look,
my
look.
god.
That's the pickle.
Okay, lever and a stick.
It's too funny. I love that shit.
What's wrong with me? I can't believe I forgot to give him the napkin.
Patrick, that's a pickle. It's a pickle.
Allow me to reflect. I gotta be happy.
Okay.
have to extend what little you have left of your arm. Yeah, of course he did. Told you when he did it back.
Why would you do that? Hold on a minute. And that means. But if it wasn't, then what happened to me? The fight we were talking about on the roof?
Yeah, that's how you turn it down. So, whatever. So the question for both is, what's your reason?
Anything about taking their shoulder? You can't jump in there for something you can't help!
Whenever you see that with something to do with getting that fire, you have to be sure how you motivate something like that. You see, means that it has to be followed up. You know when it's real. And you also know what is out on it. Would you not?
Joe, honey, what you doing, baby?
What's up?
Your body's still in the portal.
Is my body still in the portal? Existing separately?
Okay, well, I gotta go downstairs and wash my
That's very fun.
Hold on. Hold on, girl, I'll take it. Hold on.
Try to think
Yeah,
back. Remember what happened when the truth unraveled.
I reached out. And it was me. It was my hand I grabbed.
Doesn't look like we're done with the truth yet. We're gonna get in here and pull your body out.
Now that after the portal, I remember looking at her inside that thing. The thing you thought was Mom. I guess so. But my soul didn't die. It must have rejected me right away. Does that mean we didn't harm anyone else's soul after all?
The child in which
I gotta have sticks somewhere. Fine, I'll make some after I go to sleep.
They wouldn't keep him said. I've been blaming myself for what happened. I thought I was the one who killed Mom a second time. Thanks, brother. Thank you.
I had sticks right
I
there.
was the one who killed Mom after all. Quit trying to shoulder all this on your own.
You making something downstairs?
No, she's washing the cup, but I'm probably gonna go downstairs and make something after.
Stand back and watch other people get hurt by what I've done. Like what happened to Mr. Hughes. It felt like it was my fault when I found out he was dead. I told myself that if it meant other people getting hurt, then I don't even want my body back. I met other people who were exactly human. But still managed to live their lives to the purpose. And even in this body, it has the stuff that would keep from treating me like I'm still human. This body could reject me anytime. But it's the same with being human. You never know when you might get sick or die in an accident. So I can still get by like this. I can live a somewhat normal life. And that's how I've managed to keep going. I can't take it anymore. I can't keep going nights by myself. It's too lonely. And that's why I have to get back to normal.
He'll knock that truth jerk on his butt. And we're gonna pull your body right out of that place.
Baby,
What?
says urgent low soon. 55 mg anal with 20 minutes after prevent low.
Huh?
Sugar, blood sugar stuff, baby. I'm gonna hop in the shower. I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna get some air balloons. Are you having been to assess? Are you picking for Tuesday? When
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you sleep with them? When you don't like my chair. You see that you're really good too. I know. Why don't you tell me what's the deal with them?
Okay, so move it, move it, move it.
Lighter by the fireplace. A wonderful. Remember that teenager giving CPR with the apple while he was eye socket? Yeah, his friend found out in Air Canada. That's an apple salt hospital. Oh boy. This is so fun. And you might be able to do this every day. And when we expand the apple, won't throw away the damn sandwich. She knows how ridiculous this is. This used to be a sex space. You start probably the job. Here, Betty, this kitty here. I'm genuinely worried. Boyfriend out there, that's one chance to find it all. Husband out of all the big old west fuck. We didn't fool anybody. Still wiggle on it. Over his pants. Safe space, Mark. Safe space. Not much. I don't know.
You know what? I am gonna end this video here, in this stream here. It's getting late. I need to go make dinner, and apparently my blood sugar is getting really low. So I need to go fix that, make dinner. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Thanks for watching, those who did, and I'll see you all next time. Oh wait, real quick. I do intend to just basically play games for myself this week. I may do another stream. I do want to start another Minecraft series. A Mine Colonies series. So I don't know when I'm going to do that, but that might be my next stream. So we'll see. Alright, I'll see you.